man? Hi there and welcome to another episode of Sit and Spin with me, your host Joe, back in his normal spot, Norm the Drowsy Dog. And today, I've got something else new for you. But first, I want to say thanks to George Lynch from KXM for his kind comments and for liking and sharing last week's video. That was awesome of you, man. You didn't have to do that, but I really appreciate it. Got a ton of extra shares because of that, just from you sharing it. So, thanks, man. Great record, still loving it, and I'm glad to help turn other people onto it. But today, we're going in a slightly different direction, and still talking about a new release, but we're going to go by more the all-rock indie pop type of stuff. And I'm going to talk about the new release from the band We Are Scientists, and their latest record, TV en Francais, or TV en French, sorry French people, which is the band's 5th studio album overall, 6 record total. They did a live album in there someplace. But it's also their first release in 4 years. We Are Scientists, if you've never heard them before, are the trio of Keith Murray on guitar and vocals, Chris Kane on bass, and Andy Burroughs on drums. Not the original drummer, we'll get to more of that later. But they are a Brooklyn by way of Berkeley, California band. First came on the scene in the early 2000s with their first independent release, Safety, Fun, and Learning, in that order, which is the title of the record. And then got their big breakthrough in 2005 with their second release and their EMI Virgin debut with Love and Squalor, which featured the hits Nobody Move, Nobody Get Hurt, and it's a hit. Those tunes and a couple other ones were also featured on the PlayStation game SSX Tricky, which if you've never been a fan of, my wife was a huge fan of that game. And having heard them on the soundtrack, it kind of made me want to explore a bit more, which were really good. And the title of that album was a J.D. Salinger reference, if you didn't figure that one out, if you weren't in, with Love and Squalor. Their next release would be 2008's Brain Thrust Mastery, which saw the band reduced to just a duo after original drummer Michael Tapper left. And it was still a pretty good record. It had hits with After Hours and a couple other tunes, but didn't do as well necessarily as the first record. The band's always had kind of more of a bigger following in the UK than here. But it saw the end of their relationship with EMI Virgin Records, and in the interim they went back to being indie status. And it wasn't until 2010 the band released their next album, Barbara, but that also saw the addition of former Razorlight drummer Andy Burroughs taking over the drum chair. And they put that record out, and I'll be honest, it's been 4 years, but I don't have a lot of memories of the album. I don't remember when I listened to it at the time it nearly being as memorable as the other 2 releases. I'm going to probably have to go back and re-explore it again, because after hearing this record, which is absolutely great start to finish, it's going to make me want to check it out and see maybe I missed something or overlooked it. But 2012 was when they first started working on this record, so it's 2 years in the making. And it's funny, there's a little joke sticker on the front that says the expensive album, which it's not because the album costs this album costs a lot of money to buy. It's fairly cheap actually, but probably maybe it cost them a bit of money to make. But the results, if that's the case, well worth it. Because I would say that this is the band's best overall record, period. Which is a great thing, right? I mean, from the opening track, What You Do Best, to the closing track, Take an Arrow, it's all good stuff. The opening track kind of sounds a little bit like Interpol when it first starts off, but the band, they have a bunch of different influences. They got a little bit of 80s influence, some hard rock and power pop influences. It makes a nice mix of stuff. I like the track we're hearing right now, which is called Make It Easy. It's track 3. In a perfect world, this song would be a monstrous hit because it is an absolutely flawless, memorably catchable single that you're just going to remember it sticking in your craw for days afterward. But the rest of the album is no different. It's all really good too. I like the shimmering guitar tones of Overreaction. I like the driving tempo of the song Slow Down, which is kind of ironic. And I like the metal hard rock overtones of Dumb Luck, which features a very kind of Thin Lizzy-esque guitar solo in it. Tim Wheeler from the band Ash has guest vocals on the song Sprinkles, and also did some of the engineering for the album. And I'm a big fan of Ash too, so when I found that out, that's even doubly cool. But We Are Scientists, TV en Francais. I can't stop saying it that way. You see that title, you got to say it that way. That's it, man. Great record. Go out and get it. If you've never heard any of the other band stuff, pick this one up first. Go backwards from there. I don't think you'll be disappointed in any of their stuff. Thanks for tuning into the show. Hopefully I'm going to have something else new for you next week. I'm sitting on a backlog of things right now, and I'm just trying to get to them all. But this week I decided to go with somebody I thought deserved a little bit more thing, a little bit, maybe more of an underdog, if you will. Kind of like Appleman. But for me, for Norm the Drowsy Dog, thanks for tuning in. We will catch you next time on Sit and Spin. Until then, see you later.